From Careco TV, one of the longest running outdoor programs on television today. Exploring the country and the coast in search of adventures. From the mountains of the great Northwest to the shores of the Atlantic Ocean. This is Americana Outdoors, presented by Garmin. This week on Americana Outdoors, we're revisiting several fishing trips where we experimented with throwing baits of varying colors and sizes to reel in the most catches possible. Okay, first up, we're looking at a trip where Wade Middleton and Jeff Reynolds discovered that the bait of the day was the Little Jon Crankbait.
Look at him. Golly, he choked it too.
I'm gonna help you on that one.
I had to grab that one. I'm gonna sit back here and just throw my little old school crankbait color. Crush on.
Actually, it's my turn to throw it.
He's going the other way. Golly.
How you gonna let him whip you?
He's trying to whip me. Look how deep he ate it too. The
Golly.
same way that other one ate it.
That's when you know you're throwing the right bait,
color right there. Golly. You gonna get him, big guy?
I was gonna let him go where I didn't look at him. That's a good one,
That's
man.
a good one right there.
Let me get the pliers for you.
Yeah, it's a good fish. Man, you can grab him out of there and I'll hold him out. There we go, right there. That is the color combination so far, buddy. You want to kiss him and touch him?
I just want to see what he feels like.
All right, we'll let him go.
Crankbaits are a great way to search areas when you're looking for largemouth, spotted bass, or smallmouth along rock banks, dams, or similar types of structure. You can easily use crankbaits to cover lots of water at a variety of depths to find where active fish are hiding. Now, when choosing color and bait sizes for this type of fishing, you're going to want to pay attention to the color of the water as well as bait size and the type of bait the fish are feeding on. Oftentimes, it's the person tossing one color of bait that best mimics the color of the bait fish, or the bait that shows up the best in the conditions that will get the most bites.
Another big one. Golly, get out of the trolling motor.
Hey,
sorry, Jeff.
I don't even want to hear it now. Just get away from me.
Another big one. Yeah. Oh, no, out of there. That's the smallest one of the day. Go back in there, buddy. Man, that's fun. I mean, the bite. You know, when it's not a tap, it's not a tick. It's a train wreck. I mean, when they hit it, it's just hold on, everything you can. I'm actually only throwing 12-pound sunline on this, so I'm really kind of watching it. I've landed 3 fish in a row. I got a few little nicks in there.
I think you ought to retie.
Just I am. The only reason Jeff wants me to retie is so that he can get a few casts. Jeff, he's a self-professed guy that does not like crankbait fishing. This is not his favorite way to catch them, but when I can catch them cranking, I absolutely love it.
After watching Wade catch fish all day, Jeff finally decides to tie a crankbait onto the end of his line, and it's about to pay off.
I think it's, no, it is
That's
fish.
a fish. Good one? That's good.
Obviously not like the ones you've been catching, but.
You're on the board.
Jeff caught one on the crankbait. That was awful nice, the way to save the little ones for me. But now you see how pretty that fish is? Way prettier than one Wade's caught. So that's my dollar fish right there for the pretty one.
I don't think so.
No kidding, now look how healthy that fish is, Wade. Nice, fat. Guess I like a crankbait now. Oh, there's,
Got him?
yeah.
Good one?
I don't know.
Uh-oh. Coming up.
Oh,
I like it when they make a splash like that. That's a good one. You want help?
Yeah, you might need to
Lift that one.
He got some shoulders on him.
You got him?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That's crushing it.
Well, Wade,
I done taught you a new trick.
I think you have taught me into throwing crankbaits a little more.
This time of the year, well, really any time of the year, a crankbait will catch them, but this time of the year, it's just what I love. That bite, when you get them dialed in and they're biting, it's so fun.
That's a good one right there.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
Yeah, swim off and fight again another day.
That's the best thing of it. Yeah, these fish are just moving up, probably, in my opinion. They may not even really be moving up. They may just be living here right now. Some of them definitely look pre-spawn.
Coming up, we're switching gears and we'll get a chance to see some baits in action that Jeff is most familiar with: MVP football jigs and lead shakers.
Before the road trips, the cool mornings, the hot cast iron, the short nights, and the long cast. There's one stop that you can't afford to miss. It's time to gear up and camp out at Bass Pro Shops and Cabela's. Save on all your camping essentials, in-store and online. Your adventure starts here.
Stetson Blaylock, Todd Auden, Head Fury, let's go!
Garmin Live Scope, I tell you right now, if you don't have it, you are behind. It's just wild. It's like a video game.
If you do not have that Garmin Live Scope, you are definitely missing out.
Bassmaster Classic Champion!
Americana Outdoors, presented by Garmin, is brought to you by Bass Pro Shops and Cabela's. Your adventure starts here. Garmin, fight your fish, not your fish finder. Ranger Boats, still building legends one at a time. Welcome back to Americana Outdoors. We're back on the water with Wade and Jeff for another round of fishing. And this time, it's all about using jig heads and lead shakers by Secret Lures. When fishing offshore structure, many anglers look for jig heads that allow them to really feel the bottom, as well as present the baits they're using in a perfect manner. Jeff is here to give us the rundown of how the Secret Lures MVP football jig works its magic.
Oh, yeah, good one.
He ate that thing. But you know, that's the neat thing about this, the Secret Lures football jig. It's that pivot divot head is what it's called. And it makes that bait sit up off the bottom, or make the hook sit up off the bottom. And it's so much easier to get a hook in the mouth. You could see I had that fish hooked in the top of the mouth. Now he was down deep, but it makes a big difference on hooking fish.
Yeah, and I think it also helps keep you in contact with some of those rocks sometimes. Instead of just over the top, it just kind of digs in and rolls up
It's
there.
amazing how much more you feel with it, because I've thrown a bunch of different football jigs and feeling the difference in the way it drags across the bottom. And the biggest thing I noticed with it was on the lead shaker. It almost felt like a crankbait digging in the bottom. Yeah. And man, it makes a huge difference. And I think it makes a difference in the way that bait's acting, jumping across the bottom. It's not just sliding across the bottom, it's actually, moving like a crawdad.
Crawdad, throwing up little dust balls,
Yep.
Or mud balls, for lack of a better word.
Absolutely, yep.
Another great tool is the lead shaker. The Secret Lures lead shaker combines the proven concept of the Secret Lures pivot divot head and the screw lock bait attachment of the tail shaker. The lead shaker is one of the best tools for probing deeper waters and drop-offs, where big fish tend to hide.
Good one?
I don't know. Feels like it.
Yeah.
It's a freaking giant.
He looks like a pretty good one.
3-pounder. Thought he was a lot bigger.
I did too when he come up.
He cracked it. Oh, he is. He's
Oh, yeah,
4-pounder.
He's on 3.
There's your old lead shaker fish you talk about all the time on the
Absolutely.
bottom. Come here, buddy. Oh, yeah. Some good fish right there. I felt that rock. Just dragging that right along there and thunk.
That's a dang fish. Come over there and grab that.
Ate it right off the
Golly.
bottom.
Did you see that?
I did.
I was hung up trying to get my jig unhung, just sitting there bouncing it. When it come off, he smoked it.
He'd been sitting there looking at it the whole time.
Yeah.
Came unhooked and whack.
Golly.
Another twin.
You talking about a shocker.
It didn't take you long to set the hook on him once you knew what happened. That's like a flipping bite down there.
Oh man, that's a good one there. Good fat healthy fish. Secret Lures MVP football jig. Stay with him.
Got him. This might be a little better one here.
Little head shaker.
A little head
On
shaker.
the lead shaker.
That's pretty good. I like it. Come here, buddy. I like it. Just something about getting bit on the bottom.
Yep.
It's just always fun.
And that's a good testament, just showing, like with me throwing this football jig, you throwing that more of a finessier worm on that lead shaker. They don't always bite both of them. Just because you're dragging both of them on the bottom don't mean that they're always gonna bite them. It's always good to have both of them tied on.
So far, we've seen the guys throwing everything from crankbaits to jig heads to lead shakers. Here's Jeff with some closing thoughts on this successful fishing trip.
The hardest thing in fishing is, you know, what do I do next? I was catching, they quit biting, or I haven't even found them. What do I do? It's trial and error. I mean, there's no rhyme or reason to any of it. You got seasonal patterns, you got things that should be working. That's what I'm gonna try first. But I mean, don't be afraid to experiment with stuff. Try something totally different. Even if you're not used to doing it, you know, that's more or less a better reason to go out and try something new. You never know when you're gonna find that secret little deal that you're catching them on. And don't always go by what everybody else is saying. I mean, your buddies, you know, they're gonna tell you what they're doing, but that don't mean that you're gonna catch them the same way. And you go out the next day and it may be different. Experiment for yourself. That's gonna help you in the long run anyhow.
Coming up, we're heading over to Sam Rayburn Reservoir, where Wade is throwing a variety of different baits to entice the fish to bite.
Groundbreaking designs, unsurpassed quality, and unshakable confidence. Welcome to the Ranger Z500 and Z100 series. Leading the industry for over 50 years, these rigs are custom crafted and loaded with more features and advantages to deliver the ultimate ownership experience. The legendary Ranger Z series. Unleash next level performance.
Yamaha Outboards. Reliability starts here.
From sun up to sundown, day in and day out, we work hard. We play hard. And to keep us going during those long hours, we demand performance. Angle Coolers, the original high-performance cooler. Americana Outdoors, presented by Garmin, is brought to you by Yamaha Marine. Reliability starts here. Secret Lures, the secret is out. Spro, sports professionals. Power Pole, total boat control. We're with Wade out on Sam Rayburn Reservoir, and there's a massive storm looming in the forecast. Before the storm reaches us, we'll take a look at how you can throw a variety of baits and still reel in lots of catches.
Got him. That's so fun. Little poppers. Poppers on a dam. That's a great way to catch them. We're actually right here on Sam Rayburn right now. And if you're watching if you know my fondness for fishing dams, we've got a huge front that's coming, big rainmaker coming here in a little bit. And I just wanted to get out for a couple of hours. I thought, we'll go fish the dam here at Rayburn because I know we can catch some. Ooh! Another Rayburn 2.5 pounder. It's just full of fish of this size. Just plumb full of them. Come here, buddy. Oh, yeah. A little spot on his tail. That's pretty cool. That's fun. Let you go back, buddy. I mean, it's just so full of fish that size. It makes it one of the best lakes to fish. Once again though, you can look, there's a little, you know, and it doesn't matter whether you're at Rayburn or some other lake or riprap or dam or whatever, you can see there's just a little jog, a little indentation. And anytime you see that on any dam or riprap wall, that's a great place to mix up several baits to catch one. Oh, there's one. Golly, he jumped. Stay right there, fish. Boy, he's mean. I'm getting whooped by this guy. Ah, come here, fish. Oh, he smoked it too. Yeah, just that old rocky point there, wind blowing down it, obvious choice on where to go, and he hit it right out of the boat. I mean, he took me for a little ride right there with the jerk bait. You know, with the jerk bait, you're basically, you know, mimicking a lot of different bait fish and colorations out there. You know, right now there's a lot of shad up spawning. That's the perfect size, in my opinion, for this time of the year. He thought it was filet mignon on the twitch and the pause.
As Wade switches up his presentation style midday, the next bait we'll see in action that's perfect for throwing in almost any fishing conditions is the Spro mixed stick.
Oh, come on, I think he's still on there, yep. God, I watched him come up and just annihilate it right there, right when it hit the water. Right where that kind of windbreak is, you know, he's just sitting there waiting for a shad or bluegill or something to come by. Instead, he got a mouthful of the old Spro mixed stick, just sitting right there. Hook him. You know, that's just a perfect, easy lesson for anybody fishing when you can see a point and you see the wind crashing along it, and right where you get that break, you know, he might be 1 pound, he might be 5 pounds. You just don't know. Perfect ambush spot. Let's see if there's another one. That's almost like a cold water 50-degree special right there. Just let it set and he come up and ate it. You know, the fun thing about a little afternoon trip like what I've got going on right here is, you know, I just came out and went fishing. There's a storm coming and I didn't want to run up to the other end of the lake. I didn't even want to drive up there. So I just unloaded right here at the public ramp on Rayburn by the dam, fished the dam, out fishing those common islands that you see everybody partying on, and fishing new water. And that's something that, you know, is so important when you're fishing, is learning new spots and how to catch them instead of just running the same things. You know, just fun fishing and learning, doing new things, and it's important as you evolve as an angler. Well, that's probably the end of the day right there. I didn't retie. Storms are coming in, you can see them on the radar. That was part of the reason why we chose to fish down here on the south end of Rayburn, but it just goes to show you a lake this good, you can catch them anywhere, but you know, to keep an open mind, just go fishing, fish what's in front of you. I've got a crankbait, I've got a fluke tied on, I got a popper, got a frog, got a spinnerbait, I had a mixed stick tied on, I got a wacky worm tied on, and you know, just threw what was in front of me, just threw it them all and caught a few fish, and now we're gonna go dodge this storm and go to the stump, eat dinner.
Well, we're getting out of this storm's way and heading in for the evening. Coming up, we'll return to Sam Rayburn Reservoir for another day of trying new things and catching fish.
Your time on the water is precious. You return season after season to make unforgettable memories, fight a few fish, reconnect with friends, and recenter yourself. If you count on having this time, you need an outboard you can count on to power it. That's why boaters stay with Yamaha for the long run, for life. They know reliability starts here.
You know that guy that's always bringing in big ones from offshore? He's got secret lures. That guy that can pull out his spinning rod and start catching them when you can't buy a bite. He's got secret lures. What about that guy that can follow you down the bank and catch what you left behind? He's got secret lures.
Oh, yeah, good one.
If you're ready to be that guy, get your secret lures today at secretlures.com.
You been waiting all week for this. And Sunline wants to make sure you're ready for it with bulk spools of all your favorite fishing lines.
That's so fun.
Bulk up with Sunline. Americana Outdoors, presented by Garmin, is brought to you by Engel, the original high-performance cooler. Outdoor Action TV, stream your favorite shows. Sunline, the strength to guarantee your confidence. The storms have passed, and we're back for day 2 of fishing out here on Sam Rayburn Reservoir. And it looks like Wade has already snagged the first fish of the day with a jerkbait.
Tie the jerkbait on in the heaviest grass you can find and twitch, pause, and got one to eat it finally. We've had a few bites in this grass, but they've all missed it. It's not very big, but look how he ate it. He came up from behind and munched on it. Hold still, fish. We'll get that out of there real fast for you. This little guy. You know, I have and love to fish over here on Rayburn when you get all this hay grass growing. It's just a fun bite. You can fish so many different ways. Swim jigs, you can throw a frog across it, you can throw spinnerbait down it. You know, there's just a lot of different ways to catch fish here. Just had that feeling I needed to throw a jerkbait out in the middle of it, and we caught one. There's one. Come here, fish. A bunch of white bass. Sure is. There's 2 or 3 of them in there. Hey, fish is a fish. He hit it like a freight train. These guys will get you. That's a good sized one too. Thank you, sir. We'll take a bite all day long. We're not picky when one wants to bite, especially when they tug like that. He just annihilated it. Thought he had him a big old shad. Should go back. If we were bass fishing in a tournament, we wouldn't like him. When you're fishing for fun, we'll take him all day long.
Using mapping and sonar in your boat will help you locate areas that might hold fish. It's not uncommon for some anglers to spend more time looking at their electronics than fishing. What they're looking for can be anything from a jagged rough spot on the bottom to a brush pile. Once they find this area and see the fish, all that looking pays off with immediate bites.
We had some crappie. That is a wad of crappie. That's where I want to be, is right there. That big wad of them right there. And you can see them react to it and come out of the whole brush pile to eat it. Like, I'm gonna get a bite right here. Look here, that tree's full of them. I mean, there's like 20 of them around my bait right now. Got him. This is so fun. I mean, there's so many crappie down there that you can see them in that tree. They're not real big, you know, they don't show up. You know, you can see this little jig going down there, and most of these crappie in this brush pile are about that big. But they are, you'll see like 8 or 9 of them come run over and attack, you know, when I drop it down in there. And then every now and then I see a bigger one, made a disaster. That's fun. I can do this all day long, being a little kid.
Well, that's a wrap for our time on Sam Rayburn Reservoir. Now, over the course of today's show, we've heard from the pros about what you can do to reel in more bites on your next fishing trip. From using your tried and true methods, be they crankbaits or lead shakers, to switching up your style and being open-minded to trying new techniques, the possibilities are endless. No matter your method, the most important takeaway of today is to get out on the water and cast a line. Hey, thank you for watching, and join us next week on a new episode of Americana Outdoors. Americana Outdoors is a Careco TV production.
I got my power pole down, stuck in the mud in the bottom of the lake, sitting so still in the wind and the waves, could even be a hurricane. I got my power pole down.
You know, when I look at the tournaments I've won, probably 4 or 5 of the boats that I've won have been on a tube. But I'd completely gotten away from flipping a tube because nobody made one soft enough.
Big Bite has come with this new tour series of baits. The thing that's probably the most unique is when you look at that bait, the salt just rolls out of it. And to me, that is the reason a fish bites a tube and hangs on to it. This isn't one of those let's go out and catch some smallmouth tube. This is a let's get it done tube.